2018, the Auditor General report covered INSAI 2018. Francis Benkaifala again.
If there are areas where we have investigated as a commission and reached a conclusion, and those are not captured in the 2018 report, two things might be responsible for it, and we have discussed this with the Auditor General's department. One, the audit covers the fiscal year 2018. Some of the actions we took as a commission happened in 2019 in respect of those things done in 2018. So it will be unfair to believe and expect that the Auditor General was going to capture them. But we have now taken steps to sufficiently bring them to their attention so that it can be covered in previous audits as actions done. Also, and most importantly, we understand the Auditor General's department is not sufficiently staffed to audit the entire country at the same time. So there are years where it is simply impracticable for them to audit every ministry, department, agency, or commission of state. So they may have taken their advised positions to leave out certain departments for various practical reasons. And therefore, by our observation and in consultation with them, what they have done in 2018 is to cover those areas that they had left out in previous audits, but found a way to include them in 2018. In that regard, whilst the 2018 audit report sufficiently covers issues arising in 2018, there are many aspects of it that cover issues that arose in years before 2018 in various MDAs.
Ben Kaifala same way so say one pan the investigations them where the ACC don't do na the 2018 Auditor General report. They fair not say the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education not be able for accounts for over 31 billion loans where they for use for buy book and other learning material them where they for supply to 22 local council them inside 2018.
There are also issues at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. In November 2018, the ministry contracted suppliers for supply of learning materials to 22 local councils totaling 31.7 billion, but there is no evidence of delivery. Again, this is a procurement irregularity. We had already started looking into this, and we are going to conclude by looking into what the Auditor General has said and to be able to investigate properly. Issues of delivery are very easy to investigate. Simply go to the targeted school and ask them, did you receive books? If books were not received, who is the supplier? Supplier, did you come with books? If not, were you paid? If you were paid, what has happened to the books? So these are things we are going to engage with, working in consultation with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Education to see what we can do. The same thing for Ministry of Basic Education, 3 billion withdrawn from the ministry account, and there are no supporting documents, 1.8 billion unsupported documents.
As the Anti-Corruption Commission still they investigate and look inside the team where they found out inside the 2018 Auditors General reports, Radio Democracy will continue for look inside different ministry, departments and agency them where they name they inside the 2018 Auditor General reports, like the Ministry of Finance where been procure 300 million ICT equipment them where they not be able accounts for, and the plenty staff them where they are the Ministry of Finance where not go through the rights procedure, the Ministry of Local Government, NRA, and other one them. For the Society for Radio Democracy, you know, Kabia the reports.
7:41 at the time from our studio clock. We continue with the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. Well, forgive more on waiting happened yesterday. INSAI, the anti-corruption, talk about the Auditor General's reports. For can give you more details on that, one for welcome again, Emmanuel Kwevaya Amara. Welcome on the Anti-Corruption Commission. Good morning, Happy New Year, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Asma. Good morning, Khadija. Happy New Year, 98.1. Happy New Year, the people of Sierra Leone. Good morning.
All right. Yesterday, now a pleasure for getting you again at the studios.
Thank you very much.
We see INSAI, the Anti-Corruption Commission, the commissioner himself, talk about the Auditor General's report. What you don't do, how you don't put together, whatever una get for put together, and talk to journalists them. From that report, they will report how we they just make give we detailed reports of what happened yesterday.
Yes, that's very correct. Yesterday, the commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission talk to the public, the civil society organizations, and the journalists about the audit report. And are very mindful of what they say. We talk about the audit report. It did not talk on the audit report, because then in our parliamentary exclusive domain for talk on the audit report and talk to the audit report. But since the Auditor General report come out in December, as a commission, we don't look at the report from where they lay in the parliament. We don't look at them. We don't actually try to see how we go approach them eventually when after parliament go don't look at them. But then in looking at it, we realize a number of issues we are raised, and they were raised really very well. And one other thing we'll find out about the report, now the fact say, like the commissioner said yesterday, it is a composite report, a very well done job, well done composite Auditor General's report, because we issued the report from 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. We come into this 2018 report. So as a commission, we don't take with them, don't look at them, bring out a number of issues. One, we actually look at the material losses we get highlighted in the Auditor General's report generally, but that for now, not purely for internal consumption. And secondly, we actually look at, we suggest the issues and the way we go for investigation contingent upon, Parliament in discussion of especially the issues in the 2018 section of it. And of course, we identify matters them already who the commission will not intervene into. Because there are issues in this Auditor General's report of 2018 where the commission will not intervene into already. Some are in court, we've completed investigations, some decisions have been taken on them, but those will form part of the discussions for today. And of course, we also be able to identify those issues where they fall exclusively in the period beginning 2014 and ending 2017. So you would see we actually have done, some reasonable job looking at the Auditor General's report with a view to talking about it until we can speak to it.
Okay. Now let we look at the matters they want identify. When a matter they want to identify, we want to look into before we can look at the one they want to suggest, the one they want to also identify before by 2014 to 2017. So for the one they want to identify, we want to already look into it, outline them to it.
Oh yes, sure. In the Ministry of Finance, for instance, when you go to page 63 of the Auditor General's report, you realize, say, the issue of salaries in respect of additional staff not supported by documents at the Ministry of Finance to the tune of 743 million leones. These were irregularities in payments of salaries of staff. This no matter way we don't even conclude investigations on. And of course, the same matter at the Ministry of Finance, we get to do with monthly increase of employees' basic salaries to the tune of 218 million leones. Also, now irregularities in payments of salaries to staff. We don't also conclude investigations by that one day. In the Ministry of Finance also, you will realize, say, at page 64, in the audit report, the issue is raised about the allowances amounting to 794.3 million paid to staff, but no supporting documents to justify that expenditure. Also, DSA allowance approved and paid exceeds the amount requested, leading to overpayment of about 69 million leones. This matter, no matter way, we don't look at and we don't conclude investigations on them even before the Auditor General's report. We don't begin look at it even before the Auditor General's report come out. We don't conclude investigations on them. The matter they had, and then now with the prosecutors for actually see which kind advice they go profile. And when you go to page 165, for instance, of the Auditor General's report, it talks about the judiciary. It talks about the suitors' case payment slips. This now a matter where they're in court already. We had concluded investigations and the matter is in court. The persons who've been charged and they stand trial as we speak right now. Then, of course, you talk about the National Telecommunications Company, NATCOM, where in 2016, out of a total payment of 3.8 billion leones, the sum of 1.1 billion leones, they're not be able to account for that day. The investigations don't get completed, and by way of recovery, we already don't begin recover. We don't recover up to about 400 million leones in that regard. You find out, say, the SLRSA at page 234 of the audit report, 2018. The SLRSA, remember saying 2016 financial statement, the sum of 2.6 billion leo recorded as receivables could not be properly accounted for. So in essence, that one also was investigated. But in the same SLRSA, you realize, say, they claim to have paid 2.4 billion leons as customs duty for clearing of tow trucks. But upon examination, the records only reflected 1.3 billion leons was paid. 1.1 billion leons was unaccounted for. These are matters where we don't complete. We don't investigate them completely. We don't charge them to court. And as I speak to you, one party people that will be charged to court don't plead guilty, or don't, by way of fines, we don't recover over 500 million leons.
Okay.
The other two are standing trials.
Mr. Amala, let's take you back now the area of the time frame of the issues then within inside the Auditor General's reports. Will you make mention of 2014 to 2018, where don't bring so many arguments talking about the Auditor General in report and entitle them as 2018. So also the issues there come out where then come inside the report of 2018, where according to from 2014, and some of them one day don't investigate them, don't even charge some of the matter then go court.
Well, for come to that, Khadija, I want for lay the foundation for say we have a very good working relationship with the Auditor General's office, and as a commission we recognize the fact say she's done a very wonderful job. Her team has done a very wonderful job, and the commissioner, of course, and the Auditor General then constant touch on issues even regarding what they do right now. One thing we're very apparent will come out, and the commissioner stated yesterday, that the fact say by the strength of the Auditor General's office, you realize not to every MDA then going for actually going for audits every year. For instance, like them embassies abroad, etc., they're not going for audit them every year. So these audits, some of the times, are taken to other years, and when that is done, definitely, and that is acceptable standard internationally, even at audit acceptable standard, for let them bring come into the year of reporting. That one, we only were going to run for actually CC for we intervention when we go to intervene in collaboration, particularly with Parliament in this issue. We know usai for go and waiting for do. But then coming to your answer proper now, you realize, say, for instance, when you go to page 68, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation also talk about payments of education allowances for children above 18 years, and in certain cases, no evidence of children in personnel file, we amount to $81,850. These are issues where we don't actually happen before 2018. They are not in the 2018, financial year. Under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, again, various payments, them where they may make, in 2016, 2017, where they not get supporting documents, amounting to 228 million paid out of, you realize, say, 3.7, for this, the composite analysis. They actually do the analysis from 2016, 17, including 2018. But I will not speak to 2018 because that's the exclusive domain of Parliament, as I've said. But 3.7 billion gets unaccounted for in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs under this circumstance in 2016. 347 million gets unaccounted for under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs under this circumstance in 2017. And these issues are found in the report, and we as a commission are interested in them. That is why we've done this job, to actually see where we'll go with them and who to ask.
So some of the issues there,
and a number of them.
Some of the issues there we don't start from 2014, where they now the 2018 audit reports. Some pande don't already investigate.
Yes,
you want for charge go court, don't charge go court.
Yes,
so
yes.
If the ACC they do investigations now on the 2018 audit report, who say go focus?
Well, for now we're not going to do investigations. I'll tell you certainly because of the constitutional provision. Whereas we don't identify the areas, also we'll do investigations once we are given the signal. But then you realize, say, by reason of the fact, say, Parliament get primacy over this audit report, those issues that have to do with 2018, until Parliament, in its wisdom, send them to we, like then do for the technical audit, for let we deal with them straight without they actually having to look at it. We cannot technically look at it from the audit report until they've looked at it. But for privilege, we already, as a commission, don't identify areas where we'll go zooming in. But
The area they will not don't identify, we not go ahead with that one day.
No, well, the areas we want to identify for investigation, we cannot go ahead with investigations now.
Why?
That's why, because of the provisions of the constitutional provision, we say Parliament get primacy over the audit report. The audit report is the baby of Parliament. We cannot go ahead with investigations from the audit report on those issues.
Talking about Parliament, the reports they now na Parliament and the Public Accounts Committee go start for look into just now. Una don already do investigation on some certain institution them where the audit report cover. In the area, if Parliament during their own investigation request say they need some information from the ACC, we go further their own investigation. Una get the power, the law give una the right for disclose then documents they una get as ACC, una don't do investigation on.
Well, you go realize, say, everything that is done in our working space, it gets to be on the law. Parliament actually gets right for call any institution, for answer certain questions. However, the Constitution and the other laws, especially the one the way they govern, we make clear provisions for waiting for do and waiting not for do. So, and like with the talk, we already get a very good working relationship with Parliament. The leadership of Parliament already know what we don't do on this document, and they already know who say we potentially go once they have completed their work. Well, yes, the one way for give them, where the law permit for give them, we go give them.
If you listen to the program, you listen to Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. We really bring this Wednesday edition of the program come to you. Mina Asma James.
And Mina Khadija Bangura.
We still get Emmanuel Kweva-Amara, he comes on the Anti-Corruption Commission, according to her yesterday. Then talk about the Auditor General's reports as commission and don't find some number of issues them inside it. Mr. Amara, where you start for talk, you also will give you updates. You make mention of material losses. What are the material losses here?
Yeah, of course. That one they come to the total loss in the audit report over the total loss in the audit report, stated in the audit report, the billions we get lost. So in essence, we actually look at their analysis a day differently, and you will find out in the analysis and in looking at that one, we actually incorporate every loss we don't get identified in the audit report. So, and some of them losses, and of course, most of the losses that they include what happened in 2018, what happened in 2017, what happened in 2016, 2015, and 2014. So, as a matter of fact, when we do analysis, we look at them losses then they generally. We look at them MDAs, then they also then losses and they take place, and like for instance, like NRA, we look at Ministry of Finance. I don't talk to even Ministry of Finance. We look at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, of course, and try to put them in perspective. We look at the Ministry of Local Government and try to put them in perspective. We look at the councils. We look at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Education. We look at all the institutions, Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Food Security. We look at a number of MDAs. In fact, the MDAs that are therein included. We even look at the Mamama Airport project, which of course clearly fall without 2018. Although some part of them come into 2018, that part we know you talk about but most of it was actually out of 2018, starting 2014. We look at the Ministry of Transport and Aviation. We look at the Ministry of Defense. We look at all the issues where the auditor's report, the Auditor General's report, don't highlight, we don't cause loss over the period. And one thing very important are the fact, say, the loss we don't get caused as identified by the Auditor General's in the Auditor General's report, realistically, is a loss to Sierra Leone and the people of Sierra Leone. So we just try to put them in perspective for meet legal provisions, and not get caught in the legal web of the constitutional provisions.
All right, continue for the week now. The program will come back. We'll go look at what we find out from the different MDAs they have so now look inside. The program now Good Morning Salon, 7:56 now the time for my studio clock, and we go to the university, Lincoln Queen University, where we done the work now for the past 4 years now the country, but this BNTM we see USAID students then do peaceful protest na the Hill Station campus and the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, because they say the university not agree for publish the results them say 2 years now, because 2 years now government not pay the university. Where we report Usman Kamara being the part of within this protest and we now report.
Tuesday, January 7, 2020, some students then at the Likonkwi University be do peaceful demonstration before the campus na Hill Station and the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education building na New Englandville. But according to them students here, then say the university say government not pay them for the past 2 years. Now that make them not teach them and publish their results.
A memo come out from the university administration say they don't postpone we registration dates for unforeseen reasons for government-sponsored students. We gone at the university this morning, so we come at the ministry, the minister and the permanent state. The minister said we not so then carry them. There is a tendency for let them even close them. We want let the ministry and the government iron out the cooking issue permanently. Of course. Because anytime we go on holiday, it seems as if we are not returning again. And we are tired of this. The whole of 2019, now one great semester we attend. And
so we decide as a university student them and write a letters for try for sit with the administration. Look, they say the government not pay we fear it for 2 years. So we would beg the government then campaign on education. Please, let no look in Limpopo University.
Then students here continue say during this peaceful protest and say for them in the work condong the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education building, police been beat them and fire tear gas upon them.
We were marching peacefully from the campus and Hill Station for come to the ministry and in England. We get interrupted by the police. They stop us. We tell them, so, well, this now waka with the waka. No placards, no insulting statements, nothing, no weapons, peacefully. So they started firing tear gas. Students, they were there fire tear gas in foot. A bus, more than 10 students. Then they beat them when they arrest them.
So we try for get ourselves as students for canon at the ministry. So when we come in, police then come and try for the stop we. We'll not go their way. Then go now they rush at we begin fire tear gas canisters. And this will affect we. So we don't let back the canal. Since we don't let the camp, they still be away run after we.
Inside this same peaceful protest before the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education office, then students here say the time when they reach now the ministry, the Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Professor Iak Pakima, and the permanent secretary, Gilbert Cooper, been tell them say no to President Bureau in government been set up this Linkoku University.
The first word we tell we behave very unruly and unprofessional. Really. The second thing we tell how the university not be set up by the government publicly. It tell we say it even get the power for me to close this university. We put all things to record. It say he able call the policeman that they can fire tear gas among the back for grab we out of the place. We they pray, we they talk to Papa government, Mr. Papa Madabio, His Excellency. Now you get the power. We they beg, council we aid. April we don't discuss. We they beg you, Papa. We beg.
After all the allegation here, I be going to the ministry and talk to the permanent secretary, Gilbert Cooper. We say all waiting the students then talk not to true and self say that they engage now with the Ministry of Finance for see how they go pay this couple to the university.
Now, when they come, we begin dialogue with them. We can realize government been careful pay them over 25 billion as backlog. We go discuss with the Ministry of Finance, now then get a budget. When they will make a payments plan, we look at the various institutions who we really get for service. Now, even when we not pay all the subvention who are supposed to pay to the tertiary institutions, to the public institutions, they're not say they're not